But I think the more alarming thing in this indictment that I was trying to get on was the terrorism count. I understand whoever killed him obviously did it intentionally. Like, I totally agree with that. However, I just struggle to try and grasp that this was an act of terrorism, how New York, like, defines it. I just
Well, look, so you're on to something. We're going to read the indictment. I've got it up, but you're on to something before I go there. You said how New York defines it. So you're starting to think like a lawyer. I like it because being a lawyer is a lot about learning a different language and understanding logic. And this is why I get so upset about, I call it wokeness or undefining terms. And by undefining or redefining what terms mean, it matters. Language matters. And in law, it's like this logical, scientific approach to abstract human behavior. And what you have to do is we have a definition of a crime. And the idea is if the General Assembly in Ohio or your legislative branch, if Congress in the federal system is going to say you're not allowed to do something. And if you do that, it's a crime, that the law has to be defined in such a way that an ordinary person can understand it. And not just an ordinary person, but like somebody, like it's got to be somebody who's distracted doing 10 things at once should be able to understand it. You have to make it simple because if you can't make it simple, if you can't write a law that prohibits conduct and normal people can't read it and understand what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do, well, then it's not fair. It violates due process. It's called vague. It's overly vague. And a reasonable person looking at it is going to say, I don't know what the hell this says, so I can't do it. Or so then it's unconstitutional. So the idea here is defining terrorism. Now we all operate day in and day out with some understanding of what we think terrorism is. And you may think, well, a terrorist is somebody who blew up the World Trade Center. A terrorist is somebody who crashed their plane into the Twin Towers. Those are terrorists. But in law, we have to go farther than that.